Ladies and gentlemen of council, my name is Barbara Osborne Kreamer. I live on Beards Hill Road in Aberdeen. A year ago, I spoke to the council and I suggested that the 2-cent property tax rate decrease was not enough because we were going to have the hotel tax revenue in the upcoming year and because there had been a surplus of $1.5 million from the preceding year, and there had been a surplus of a similar scope the year before that. And council listened taciturnly and made no change and passed a budget that had 2-cent property tax decrease. But still, that remained, with our tax rate being one of the highest in the state of Maryland and just about the highest in central Maryland. And it was 33%, 32% higher than the tax rate in Bel Air. So we had some changes of personnel from last year to this year. So when I'm speaking to you this year, it's mostly different people, except for Councilwoman Landbeck. Now, the budget that's proposed this year, I expressed surprise at the last meeting because I thought that the tax rate would be reduced. And in fact, we've got, at 3/4 of the way through the year, the city of Aberdeen has amassed a surplus of $2.8 million, twice as much as for the full year the preceding year, when I said you can afford to lower the tax rate. And I didn't even say anything about doubling the contribution for the fire department or make any comment about the expenditures that you proposed. What I said was you underestimated your revenues, and that turned out to be the case. So I'm here to say that I think that the ethics of budgeting need to be reviewed very seriously. I heard Councilman Lindekamp say at the end of the meeting something about the surplus is your future. Well, what is that, about $50,000 per person who lives in the city of Aberdeen, excess money that's been collected? $2.8 million as of March of this year, plus a $72.6 million surplus that had been accumulated as of last July. So that's about $75 million in surplus that the city of Aberdeen has accumulated. So that's about $50,000 per person in the town. So what about the future of the families in the town? They don't get access to that $50,000. Do you have some worthy purpose that you really plan for? Have you let the people of Aberdeen know? No, you have not let the people of Aberdeen know. You have stayed with this proposed 1-cent tax decrease. It's a constant yield rate. In order to collect the same amount of money collected last year, the tax rate has to go down 1 cent. But that's going to yield you another surplus. There is an underestimation of revenues. The tax rate should be substantially lowered. We need to be competitive in our tax rate with our neighboring municipalities. We're not competitive with the area outside of town, and so we're becoming the hole in the donut. As people settle around our town, but they don't commit to be within our town. They come and use our senior center, they come and use our parks, they come and use our services, they benefit from our commercial area, but they live around our perimeter. And we're very familiar with that situation from the relationship of Baltimore County to Baltimore City. So let's not go down that route any further. This is too far. This surplus of $2.8 million that's been amassed in the current fiscal year should not be perpetuated. Please lower the tax rate substantially, like 15 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kreamer.